Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about I always go to the lobby. Man calls out renters who make UberEats drivers deliver to their apartment door. So there are a lot of customers on Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub that all have this mindset that the drivers should all go to the apartment door. Some people will, some people won't. Some people get uppity about the drivers not going all the way up, and they will tip either questionably or not at all. And usually we hear this from the perspective of the customer. This time we got the perspective of, from what I could guess, is a delivery driver, but I don't know if that's true yet. But we will see for ourselves. So with that said, we are talking about everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Brent at Brenttalks is a digital ad agency owner who also has some very strong opinions on personal delivery services. He shared some of these opinions in a recent TikTok that's accrued over 25,000 views as of Sunday. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Okay, so right off the bat, he is a digital ad agency owner and not necessarily a UberEats driver. Or is he an UberEats driver that also happens to own a digital ad agency? Let's remember the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not necessarily the goal. And maybe he's working on that in the process. So I'm curious to see what this is going to talk about. His gripe in the clip is geared towards apartment dwellers who expect door service from UberEats drivers. According to Brent, drivers shouldn't have to jump through the hurdles of many apartment complexes present to non-residents. Ooh. This might be a hot topic. I'm actually curious. So it's not even necessarily apartment dwellers. Yes, there are times when it's just hard to get in the building. You can't get past security. They don't actually put the apartment number and then they ghost you, or they just have these unreasonable expectations of you trying to go up 10 flights of stairs when their elevator is broken, or it's one of those walk-ups and then they order 10 cases of water. Don't even get me started on that. But according to this, he has a problem with non-residents specifically, at least according from the article's perspective. So I'm very curious to see what this is about to turn into.
If you live in an apartment building and you order Uber Eats and you expect your Uber Eats driver to get out of their car, enter your building, get through the front door, bring your shit up the elevator, and then bring it to your apartment door, you are an absolute menace to society.
Yo, my dude is speaking to a generation. This seems like it's gonna be sick.
I see so many poor Uber Eats drivers in the lobby of my building trying to get through the door, trying to use the intercom to call people because it's fob access only.
Oh, that's even worse! Like you're trying to get up to the 9th floor and you're ghosting your driver. If you're expecting at the door delivery service and you're ghosting your driver, it should be left in the lobby. I don't care what your obviously wrong opinion is. That's just the facts. And not to mention, if that happens, it's most likely a no-tip order too. Like, all no-tip customers are the exact same way. It's so cringe in my opinion.
Go to the fucking lobby and get your shit. The Uber Eats people should not have to bring your food all the way up the elevator to the door of your apartment.
You know, I'm gonna be that guy for a second. We shouldn't be, and in a lot of cases, all of us would prefer that you just come down and get it. That also said, I would settle for just communicating properly. Like, if I need to get through the door for any reason, and I can't do that because you won't answer the door, I shouldn't have to fight you for that. That shouldn't have to be a problem. I'd also appreciate you coming down too, so that's a non-issue altogether. Delivery drivers agree with Brent. The Daily Dot has previously reported on a DoorDash driver who delineated why apartment orders can be frustrating. The delivery worker documented the time for them to walk through the building to finally get the customer their food. In the comment section of their post, the same driver went on to say why this extra delivery time can be so problematic. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is why wait timers are so important to capitalize on, because let's be honest, this is food delivery. It's not like you're delivering this $1,000 package or something. You're making $10 or something like that. If you can't answer the call, If you can't get on the line and it's taking them an extra 10 minutes of your time, that's time you're not delivering. That is time that you could have been making more, accepting more orders because they chose to screw you over that way. Why do you think you find that drivers don't have patience? Maybe you're the fucking problem, because drivers are rated on their order efficiency, which includes completion times that could negatively affect their driver rating. Consequently, their ability to be considered for some orders may be put in jeopardy. This means they could potentially receive fewer orders, as a result, earn less money. Yeah, because if the app, I know that they say that they don't, but let's be honest, yes they do. If the app sees, hey, you guys aren't getting your shit done on time, why should we work with them? If the company sees that you're not getting your shit on time and these other drivers are, even if it's completely outside of your control, why from a I'm not there micromanaging you perspective, on paper, see that these drivers are on time, you chose to be late, why wouldn't I just work with them? But they don't have that consideration. In that same vein, delivery jobs pay per delivery, so time is of the essence. If a delivery driver could drop an order off in the lobby, they can get to their next order more quickly. This can help them earn way more per hour, especially if they live in an area with a high concentration of apartment buildings. An additional 5 or 10 minutes per order will add up and cut into their hourly earning rate. Yeah, this is why I try to stay away from metro areas. It's not even just the fact that, hey, there are a lot more orders over shorter distances. It's the fact that you have to go all the way up to the customer because they won't come down. And in a lot of cases, the security guards in those buildings won't just let you leave it there. Or in some cases, they will prefer you leave it there, but the former is more frequent. Or they just don't have a security guard. So you have to hope that they answer the intercom at a decent time frame. And don't even get me started if we're talking about package delivery either. I used to work with Veho, and one of the things that they used to do is they would expect you to go into the apartment building, right? I go into the apartment building and, oh, you don't want to answer your phone? I don't want to work with you. Some don't want to hear it. While Brent is a customer who appears to sympathize with delivery drivers, not everyone shares his viewpoints. One TikTok user slammed delivery drivers for not going the extra mile to leave food orders at the customer's door. There it is. Like I said, there's two sides to this. Number one, it's the former where drivers are all for this, and I'm surprised we didn't go through any of the comments going over that, even though I am so sure we're going to go over the comments saying the customer side of things. In fact, I'm actually surprised that wasn't the first thing, because the Daily Dot previously reported drivers explaining why they wouldn't, but they've gone over so many more customers bitching about us not going all the way up. Like pick a lane. A user who goes by Qster14 posted a video airing her grievances with the driver who won't bring the food to the door of her unit. When did DoorDash become Meetup Dash, and why don't delivery drivers actually deliver? She asks in the clip's caption. I think I actually remember that video specifically because I think I covered it. But here's the reality. If you're gonna make it more of a problem to deliver your order, we can't realistically bring it up. Like, if you're gonna make it a problem, if I'm going on the intercom and you're not answering, or if your apartment complex is that complicated to where we can't navigate it properly unless we've been here 1,000 times. I remember doing a delivery for somebody who lived in one of those complexes that you need a specific elevator on every side of the building, and the instructions weren't 100% clear, or if they were, I didn't understand them because I haven't been there enough, or I went through the wrong entrance, whatever. But it becomes that much of a goddamn problem to deliver it to their door. She says in the clip, I'm not meeting you outside of my complex. I want the food at my door. I'm paying for a premium service and tipping on top of it, so I don't have to go get the food. What's the point of me tipping almost 30% if you can't bring the food to my door? I love how people say, what's the point to me tipping almost 30% if you can't bring the food to my door, I find that people who utilize percentages of the order are also ordering very little. Sure, 30% sounds like a lot in comparison to normal 20%, and then you get an order that is $10 for a Chipotle burrito or whatever, and that 30% is $3 on top of the $2 for the base pay. That's a $5 order. You expect us to spend 10 minutes going up and down the apartment complex, which really is probably going to be more like 15. And if it's the kind of apartment that we're talking about, you might also have to pay for parking depending on your area. I know my area, there's Fort Lauderdale, where there's not a lot of parking within the general area of these apartment complexes, or really guest parking is probably the best way to put it. So you don't want to risk getting a ticket. Some of these ticket guys are cool, but some of them are a living pain in my bootang. Now, let's say it was a very simple apartment complex. I can go up, go down, no problem. This is a non-issue. If it's a problematic building, I totally understand why someone would be like, yeah, I can't do this. Like, I can't waste more of my time trying to navigate this building. That also said, let's look at the flip side of this. If it takes you that long to come down from the lobby to get it, then it probably would be just as frustrating for them as it would be for you. Furthermore, she explains that she always gives explicit directions on how to navigate her building. Several commenters criticized her argument, however, stating drivers shouldn't be expected to jump through hoops to drop off food. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the explicit instructions, how explicit are they, number one? And number two, is that a realistic expectation that you can put on somebody when they are paid per order at the rates that they're currently being paid? Like, if you pay somebody $3 extra to go through your apartment building, it better be worth the 30%. Like, if you tip 30% and it's a $10 burrito, I don't think that's worth it. Brent's viewers were divided. One commenter who saw his clip appeared to be in the same camp as the aforementioned woman. If I'm going to go down the elevator, I might as well just go get the food. And you're free to do that. What, did you think that we actually were gonna be like, please keep ordering from us, please? No, if you don't want to use the service, you don't have to. We don't want people who shouldn't be using the service on the platform anyway. Another said that with delivery app surcharges, they are expected door service as well. After I pay fees and a tip, they can deliver to my door, they wrote. Like I said, if the price is right, I'll do it, but don't make it a whole problem. If you're going to be a whole problem, you could make it a whole problem for yourself and get it in the lobby. This was a sentiment echoed by another. Sorry, with the food delivery fee and tip, I 1000 expect them to come to my door. I love how Brent's viewers were divided, but we're only mentioning the ones that are slandering Brett, number one, and number two, basically feeding into the entitlement. Tell me Jack Albon is skewing the story without telling me. Like, this better swing back into the favor of delivery drivers, because quite honestly, Jack Albon I've had issues with, but I've also seen him get better as a writer and not be so slanderous. So maybe this will turn out to be better as we go, but I don't know. Someone else argued that there may be factors Brett isn't considering, either writing, how can a single mom leave their unit as they have a sleeping baby at home? Or someone that is older and has mobility issues. Okay, if you're a single mom that can't leave their unit or has mobility issues, that is fine, and I understand that, but that also said, don't make it a problem to deliver it to you. Like, if we utilize the intercom to reach you and you choose not to answer, that's on you. Like, this is why I'm kind of on the fence with these kind of arguments. Like, yeah, I understand that there are drivers that just won't do it no matter what. I'll go up if I've accepted the order if you don't make it a fucking problem. Same thing with the older person that has mobility issues. Like, if you can't work the app and answer the phone, why the hell are you even here?
But Joe, not all people know how to use Doordash or UberEats. Like, they could have genuine issues that they should have more sympathy for.
And maybe I should be more sympathetic to their situation, but your situation should not become my problem just because you decided to be a pain in the ass about it. You ordered something, Answer your phone. You know it's coming within an hour. Don't be an asshole. It's like all those people that claim that they were in the shower after ordering their food. Like, who the fuck does that? Others said they had no problem going to meet drivers downstairs. I always met the driver in the lobby, one wrote. I always go to the lobby. Always, someone else penned. Okay, so this seems to be swinging back into the favor of food delivery drivers. I kind of like that. There was one commenter, however, who asked Brent if a certain tip amount made door delivery worth it. What about a $15 tip, according to a response from Brent in the comments? This was an acceptable compromise. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the payout makes sense and you are doing everything you can to get it to the door, and they are doing what they can to make sure they're communicating with you, that's fine. But if you're going to make it a problem by not communicating, tipping poorly, tip baiting in some cases, treating the driver disrespectfully, etc., then don't do it. Don't be that guy. We don't want to work with people that are like that. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I appreciate those who always go to the lobby for drivers, and I appreciate those who tip their drivers well enough to justify going to the door. And I understand both sides to the gig workers argument, should you go all the way up to the door or not? And my philosophy is that I don't mind going to the door if you want to make it as little of a problem for me as possible. If I use the intercom to contact you and you answer right away, let me in, fine. No problem. If security gives me a problem, obviously there are building policies I have to adhere to, what have you. But overall, if you're gonna keep it simple for us, I think that's fine. I usually only accept orders that I would have no problem following through in that regard regardless. Because my area is a lot of condos, a lot of high rises. So I understand that there are gonna be people I would have to deliver to their door. I'm only accepting orders that allow for that, though. Like, I can't justify that for a $5 or $6 order, but I can absolutely say that for a $10, $15, $20 order. Or like a catering order that has the setup and is expecting me to show there at a certain time. But that goes all into saying, like, you gotta make sure that you're getting those orders. How are you getting those orders? You're diversifying your gig portfolio, making sure that you are in a position to receive those orders. Number 2 is developing an exit strategy. The gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. And it's vital that you make sure that you're working on signing up for as many platforms and working on those strategies. And one of the best places to do that is through the Driven Wyld Discord server. The Driven Wyld Discord community is exclusive for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in their self-employment and entrepreneurial journey. I partnered with high-level professionals to bring you some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings. More live streams with high-level professionals in our industry. Educational systems designed to help you build your own dispatch company as well as other scalable opportunities. And by the way, we're kicking off our Building Your Own Dispatch Company course in the very near future, so make sure you're staying tuned for that and signing up for those courses. So that way, whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn or looking for an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge, what would be a long-term goal, and you're looking for something with more growth and scalability, there's something here for you. Check the link in the description and get started on making the most amount of money in the least amount of time and the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh!